name is Kirby Leisman, professional wakeboarder and coach at my wakeboarding school, Kirby School of Wake. Today, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get started wake surfing. So here are some things that you're going to need to get started. First off, you're going to need a boat specifically designed for wake surfing, like this Axis A24 behind me. This boat comes standard with a V-drive design where the propeller is safely tucked up underneath of the boat, a speed control system, integrated ballast, a wedge that helps shape the size of the wave, and also a surf system that helps direct the flow of the water over to the side of the boat that you were surfing on. You'll also need some sick board shorts, a CGA life jacket, you'll need a surf rope, and a surfboard that's suitable for the size of the rider. Getting up on a wake surfboard is relatively easy. It's pretty similar to a wakeboard. The only major difference is that you have to get the board to flip up to your feet so that you can get into a position where the boat can start to hoist you up out of the water. You'll be sitting in the water with the rope in your hands, arms rested on top of your knees, heels pressed into the back edge of the board, and toes pointed up towards the sky. Once the boat goes into gear, you're going to feel the line get tight. This is a sign that you need to start to dig your heels into the board. Let your knees draw into your chest, and once the board has flipped up to your feet, just stay in that crunch position for a few seconds. You're going to wait until you get to where your body is completely over top of your board. Then dig your heels in to stand up. Some of the most common mistakes that I see in people trying to learn how to wake surf is when they try to push their feet down onto the board rather than letting it just flip up. If they try to pull themselves up on top of the board, or if they lay back in the water looking up towards the sky. All three of these movements will cause what we call the royal flush, where water royally flushes right up your nose, and it's one of the most miserable things that you can experience. The driver also has a lot to do with the success of the surfer's start. So I recommend doing what we call a 3-speed start, where the driver puts the boat into gear to get the rope tight, slowly starts to accelerate until he sees the board flip up to the rider's feet, then start to pick up speed to the desired set speed for surfing. Once you get up, simply put some weight against your heels as you lean against the rope and put your lead foot ahead just a little bit. Now, how do you determine what foot you're going to lead with? Well, I generally ask, hey, what foot would you kick a ball with? And whatever foot you would kick with is going to be in the back. Once you get across the wave, it's okay to go out to the side for a little bit just to get used to the board, but it won't be long before you're wanting to get back into the wave and start surfing it. The only thing is when you start moving in closer to that wave, you got to do it slowly so it doesn't push you back out to the side. So now what I'll have you do when you get up close to the wave is do what we call a posture check. The way you do this is you take your back hand off the handle, put it on your lower back, and push forward. This will ensure that your body is in the correct position for staying into the wave. Now that you got your body in a better position, you're probably going to feel that you have some slack in the rope. This is a great sign. This means that you're able to surf the wave without relying on the rope for stability. It's also a good idea to have someone in the boat that can manage this slack by keeping pressure on the line. That way if the rope gets loose and then tight again, it doesn't pull the surfer off the board. Once you're able to maintain that slack for a while without relying on the rope, it's time to toss that thing. There's 2 different directions you can toss the rope. You can throw it straight towards the boat or directly across the wave. Now there's 3 ways you can control your speed on a wake surfboard. The most common way is just by putting weight on your front foot to go forward and back foot to go back. You can also put some weight up over your toes to help you press the edge of the board alongside the wave to bring you forward. Then to slow down, simply put weight evenly over your feet to cause you to fade back. The last way you can control your speed is by simply riding up the face of the wave, then steering to ride down the wave to speed up, or simply go off to the side of the wave to slow down. If you find yourself speeding towards the boat too fast, no worries. It's impossible to fall fast enough to actually land on the boat. And like we talked about earlier, the propeller is tucked up underneath the boat far enough to where it can be no harm. Now, one of the most common mistakes I see with beginner surfers who are learning to surf without the rope is when they get too much speed, drop down the wave, stop, and then go straight back out the path they came in on. This always causes them to get flushed out the back of the wave. So my way for correcting that is to actually go down the wave, do a quick little turn to the side, and then jump right back to the wave. This will hold you up against it and keep you going with the push. If you feel as though you're losing the wave, you actually need to ride up it a little bit to then be able to turn to come off of it, which will give you forward momentum. The thing you don't want to do is panic, because if you're out the back of the wave and you start to pump and twist and shout and whatever it is that you do, you're actually going to lose the wave even faster. So you really need to be efficient to be able to get yourself to come back up to the boat. Now that you have the basics of keeping up with the wave, it's time to get your gear, get your crew, and get out on the water and enjoy that endless wave. But if you get stuck in the process and still need some help, be sure to check out our Kirby School of Wake locations at Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri, and Fort Myers, Florida. Happy shredding, and thanks for watching.